Hello and good afternoon to those of you who are watching this. My name is Jacob Harlow, and today I am here to discuss and politely inform you about the various impacts social media can have on your mental health. I ask that you do something right now as you're watching this. Try remembering or think about the last time that you felt a negative emotion or a negative thought or an uneasy feeling, and I'll give you a second. Most likely, it was due to something that you saw on social media or on your device. You see, we don't really realize how much technology continues to shape our everyday lives, and it's important to understand how our online interaction affects our overall mental health and well-being. I will explore the numerous ways social media affects us, and I will provide information for you based on research from reliable sources. I want to start off by talking about the impact social media. I want to start off by talking about how social media can impact your self-esteem. You see, we are constantly scrolling through stories and posts of what appears to be seemingly perfect lives, and it's easy for us to fall into deceptions and compare ourselves to others. And when we find ourselves comparing to people and those idolized lives that are shown online and on social media, our mental health can suffer and we can develop negative emotions and traits, and this can lead to us feeling negatively about ourselves. Social media can even toy with our dopamine-driven reward system. You see, you might think that likes, comments, share, and those follow buttons mean nothing, and that they're simply just virtual things, but they are much more powerful than what they seem. The single press of a button can trigger the release of dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter associated with the pleasure and reward. The constant pursuit of these social media rewards can create an addictive and unhealthy cycle and lifestyle, often causing us to seek validation and define ourselves based on external factors that simply aren't real, such as the number of likes a video gets, or comments or shares, or how many followers one has. But this is simply the least of how mental health can be affected by social media. Cyberbullying and online harassment is another conflict on its own. The online world has led to a disturbing trend of people using screens and profiles as shields to cause emotional and psychological distress on others. In some cases, this can even go into criminal cases and criminal offenses. These consequences can be devastating, as cyberbullying can cause long-term damage to mental health, self-esteem, and one's overall well-being. When we are constantly exposed to other people's achievements, travel adventures, material possessions, or whatever they have posted on their social media profiles, it can make us feel like we are missing out on other people's experiences. This can creep into our hearts and often erode our self-esteem and happiness. This falls under FOMO, the fear of missing out phenomenon. The fear of missing out can create anxiety and a sense of disconnection as we feel excluded from our own experiences presented on the screen. To conclude my speech, social media can have positive and negative effects on your general mental health, and it is best that you are careful and aware of the potential negative effects that you could be exposed on while on social media. It is necessary that you take the safe steps to protect your mental health. This includes paying attention to how often you use social media and setting a boundary and encouraging yourself to use it in a healthy manner. By understanding the impacts that social media can have on your mental health, you can be more careful and prioritize your well-being. I hope that you take my speech into consideration. My goal here today was to educate you and inform you about how social media can affect your mental health. I'm not trying to persuade you in any way, or I'm not trying to change you. If you have any concerns or questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for your interest.